He's a guy that's coming up, trying to prove himself. He's been calling my name for years.
If the match don't, you know what I'm saying, happen, we gonna run it.
Gotcha.
Why I say this fight needs to happen again, because both fighters have something to prove. I just saw a tweet from Gervonta Tank Davis saying that he was going to activate the rematch.
The Gervonta Davis versus Lamont Roach rematch is reportedly in the works, and tensions are already boiling over. During a live interview, Davis snapped at Roach, making it clear he's out for revenge. It's part of boxing, Tank said, downplaying the heated exchange.
If you look at the whole fight, he was never bothering his eyes before
you jabbed him.
Before I jabbed him. Even that right hand that, like, you know what I'm saying, that kind of landed, he kind of rolled with it. But after that, you could see him wipe his eye. And then, right after I hit him with the jab, you could see him wipe his other eye.
The rematch presents a massive opportunity for Lamont Roach to prove he can defeat a champion like Gervonta Tank Davis. Roach has been vocal about wanting the fight as soon as possible, recognizing this as his chance to make history. As of now, the highly anticipated showdown is potentially set for June 21st in Las Vegas, promising an electrifying battle. With both fighters ready, the boxing world is watching closely.
So the Tank Davis versus Lamont Roach rematch is being targeted for June 21st in Las Vegas. Now, it's good that they're running it back without wasting any time, because Roach absolutely deserves a rematch. I mean, I thought he outboxed Tank the last time around. He came up a division as a gigantic 10-1 underdog, and he was the one on the front foot, landing his jab, body shots, the combinations, throwing a lot more volume. I had it 7-5 Roach, and the no knockdown in round 9 was the reason it was a draw. If that knockdown was scored, that would have been a decision for Roach. But with all that being said, I do like Tank a lot more in the rematch. I thought he fought way too much on the back foot in the first fight, especially the first few rounds. He would land 1 or 2 punches per round, but as he started becoming the aggressor in the later rounds, he kept landing a lot more left hands and body shots. So Tank just needs to make this a dogfight, get into more exchanges, and that's where he'll land a lot more punches on Roach. When he's sitting on the back foot waiting for a counter, that's where Roach is comfortable and winning most of the rounds. So if Tank can fight the same way he did against Ryan Garcia, rounds 3 to 7, against Mario Barrios in the later rounds, or Frank Martin rounds 4 to 8, if he's the one on the front foot, then I do think he'll stop Roach in the rematch.
Lamont Roach has firmly stated that Steve Willis cannot referee the rematch, citing controversy over his officiating in their first fight. Many believe Willis favored Gervonta Tank Davis by failing to count a crucial moment when Davis took a knee. This has sparked debate among boxing analysts and fans, with some arguing that the fight could have swung in Roach's favor if the correct call had been made.
The part with the grease in the eye, that took on a life of its own, you know what I'm saying? That was a headline in the fight. One is, what did you think when he said that initially, just like the grease in the eye? But 2 is like, when you was in the fight, was there any point that you saw that? Like, did you see like him kind of messing with his eye, or did you have any indication that that was something that was bothering him?
No, see, and that's the thing. If you look at the whole fight, he was never bothering his eyes before
you jabbed him.
Before I jabbed him. Even that right hand that, like, you know what I'm saying, that kind of landed, he kind of rolled with it. But after that, you could see him wipe his eye. And then, right after I hit him with the jab, you could see him wipe his other eye. So it's like, it was corresponding to which hand that I punched him with and exactly which eye. So it's like crazy for him to say, it's grease in my eye. And I think even when he say that, you could see me, because I'm right beside him, you could see me like, nigga, what you talking about? So,
but you say you don't think he willing though.
Whatever. See, but who cares? Like, sweat gonna get in your eye, blood gonna get in your eye, spit fuck around and get in your eye. You know what I'm saying? But it's not like you can be like, all right, time out, ref. Hold on,
take no time out.
You can't do that.
Right. Would you be cool with Steve Willis doing the next fight?
Hell no.
He can't do the next fight.
No, he can't do the next fight.
Right.
No.
Pops is a no?
Hell no.
Fuck that nigga.
Yeah.
You know how many
Coach Ben on him, man. He lucky he ain't running Coach Ben after that fight.
But look how many times he fight up though. Right. The knee, him going to the corner to get assistance, like, who knows? Not saying that they did any cheating like that, but like, he wiped his face with a towel. You can't do that.
Right.
You can't do none of that.
Right.
That's a disqualification. You turned your back on the ref after you took a knee. Usually the ref will be like, all right, he don't want to fight no more. Fight's off.
One of the biggest controversies of the first fight was the uncounted knockdown when Gervonta Davis took a knee, a decision many believe heavily influenced the outcome. The incident has been widely debated, with numerous analysts questioning why the referee failed to make the correct call. Roach and his camp argue that if the right decision had been made, the fight could have ended differently. Now, the highly anticipated rematch between Lamont Roach and Davis is shaping up to be one of the biggest boxing events in recent history. Fans are eager to see a definitive outcome and determine who truly deserves the victory. Roach has already proven he can compete with Davis at the highest level, and many believe he deserves this second chance to settle the score once and for all.
You got any grease in your hair tonight, Tank? That is it. Lamont, please say that in the second fight. Any questions? You got any grease in your hair tonight, Tank? Like, don't have you got any grease in your hair tonight, Tank? Like, hey, bro, be on that. Because here's the thing. He never hurt Roach. Roach just waited. And Roach was squared up and turned sideways. And I'm like, oh my God. I didn't think he had that. He was like, I'm like, oh my. And then he just sitting there like, you can't. I know what you're going to do because I've trained with you since we were kids. Tarver beat Roy, but he knew Roy since amateurs. Roy said he never liked fighting sparring partners because they know you so well. I should have listened to Roy.
Gervonta Tank Davis is eager to make the rematch happen as soon as possible, with May being a potential date. He knows his reputation is on the line after the controversial draw against Lamont Roach and is determined to prove he is the superior fighter. Davis wants to erase any doubts about his dominance in the ring, and a rematch presents the perfect opportunity for him to redeem himself.
We gotta talk about it. So, Tank officially came out and says that he wants to put this rematch as early as May. Now, if that were to happen, Lamont Roach gets a second time to prove himself. Now, in my personal opinion, his stock has already risen. He is already notable. The fact that he went toe-to-toe with Tank on a decision that ended in a draw, whether he loses this second fight or not won't even matter. Because he's directly in line to go against the Keyshawn Davis, the Shakur Stevensons, and etc., the Devin Haney's, and etc. I can see him moving up and going against Devin Haney or Ryan Garcia or somebody like that. So many people to fight. Lamont Roach has definitely proven himself. But let's talk about something else, and that is the hairstylist situation. In my humble opinion, I believe she should have been quiet. As a hairstylist, there was nothing for you to say. No fan in boxing was gonna look at that like, I don't want to braid my hair. No one would have said that. But she hurt herself when she came out and publicly made multiple claims, got all these receipts that no one needed, no one asked for, saying, oh, this had no grease or oil in it. No one cares. Nobody even believes it. Sometimes it's best to remain quiet. But you guys let me know in the comments. Should she have remained quiet, or should she have did what she did, which is spoke up? You let me know.
Before the fight, many fans and analysts underestimated Lamont Roach, unaware of just how skilled he truly was. However, his performance against Gervonta Tank Davis changed that perception entirely. Roach's ability to go toe-to-toe with one of boxing's most feared punchers has cemented him as a rising star in the sport. Even renowned sports commentator Stephen A. Smith admitted he had underestimated Roach. He initially expected Davis to secure a knockout victory, but was taken aback by Roach's resilience and skill.
I expected to see a knockout. I expected to see it come at the hands of Gervonta Tank Davis against a dude that I thought was undersized, that I thought was not on the same level. And my God, was I wrong. So I thought it was apropos that on this particular day, more than a week after Lamont Roach showed up at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York, and let everybody know, yo, I'm no joke either. Y'all don't know who the hell I am. I'm here to reintroduce him to the world. A guy that many believe should be the lightweight champion of the world in the sport of boxing. The one and only Lamont Roach joins me right.
A rematch between Gervonta Tank Davis and Lamont Roach is highly likely, especially with Davis himself expressing interest in running it back. However, it remains uncertain whether this will be his next fight. With other potential opponents on his radar, Davis may choose to take on someone else before giving Roach another shot. Nonetheless, Fans are eager to see the rematch happen as soon as possible, hoping for a definitive outcome to their heated rivalry. Stephen A. Smith acknowledged that the boxing world owes Lamont Roach an apology for doubting him. This recognition from a respected analyst further highlights just how impressive Roach's performance was, proving that he belongs among the sport's elite.
Wipe the team right back. I'm believing him. I didn't see him hurt or anything like that. I get that part. I saw him hurt when he got popped with a counter from Lamont Roach and he stumbled backwards because he got hit with a shot while throwing a punch in an earlier round. So I'm certainly not going to do that. Here's the important point to mention. All of us got to stand down and give Lamont Roach an apology. I thought that brother was going to get beat down because I saw a dude that was a bantamweight champion. I said, why are you moving up to fight this guy? Why is Gervonta Davis taking this fight? This guy's too small. What the hell is going on? He was a featherweight champion. You're a lightweight. What the hell is going on? Why would you take that fight? I didn't understand it. What I didn't know is that once Lamont Roach stepped into the ring, he would be the bigger fighter. What I didn't know is that once he was in the ring and he looked like the bigger fighter, he fought like the bigger fighter because, ladies and gentlemen, from opening bell, he walked right to Gervonta Davis. Walked right to him and stayed in his face all night long. If he backed up at all, ladies and gentlemen, it was 5% of the time.
A rematch between Gervonta Tank Davis and Lamont Roach is highly likely, especially since Davis has expressed interest in running it back. However, it's uncertain if this will be his immediate next fight. With other names on his list, Tank may choose to redeem himself in a different matchup before stepping back into the ring with Roach.
Wilding like usual, right? Yeah. And the rematch, he'll be able to prove himself. I don't really believe there was a reason to call out a knockdown if you don't call Roach's shit a knockdown as well. They both was on the knee, pause. They both took a knee. So it canceled each other's out. It's either both are knockdowns or none. And neither are. So what we talking about?
No, they definitely hate Tank. That part is a fact.
Nah,
I don't. I'm saying
not
in
saying
general.
us.
In general.
I'm just saying, like, couldn't wait.
He got to Mayweather level where people hate him.
When you do well enough, people look for you
Breeds
to.
that.
Yeah,
that's good. Success breeds that. When you
that's a fact.
Either they love you or they hate you. There's no in-betweens. No longer indifferent for you because everyone knows you.
Coach Bernie has stressed the importance of Lamont Roach refining his approach for the rematch. While Roach delivered an impressive performance, Bernie noted that there were key moments where he could have been more aggressive. Adjusting his strategy could be crucial in securing a decisive victory this time around.
Documentary, but he did good, Lamont Roach. But only thing, like I say, if he gonna go back and wish he threw his hands more, he might start getting mad at himself and realize that when he watches the fight, it feels good to hear everybody say that. But when you go watch the fight and you realize, I let him slide too much. Like even the last round, he's standing there posing, looking at the man like, and then he got caught with a jab. That wasn't good.
So, you talked about the takeaways of how Lamont could be better in the rematch.
Renowned commentator Joe Rogan weighed in on one of the biggest moments of the fight, Gervonta Davis taking a knee in the 9th round. Rogan argued that if a fighter voluntarily goes down on one knee, it should be considered knockdown. His comments have fueled the ongoing debate about whether the referee made the right call during the fight, adding more fuel to the controversy surrounding that pivotal moment. Boxing analysts and former professionals believe that if a rematch happens, Lamont Roach could have the upper hand. His performance in the first fight exposed several weaknesses in Gervonta Tank Davis's game plan. If Roach can capitalize on those vulnerabilities in the rematch, he very well could emerge.
Gervonta Davis versus Lamont Roach is staying as a draw, which is bullshit because Gervonta Davis obviously took a knee and it should have been called as a knockdown, but it wasn't. But this just means that Lamont Roach is going to take Gervonta Davis in the rematch, unless Gervonta Davis ducks the rematch with Lamont Roach because he knows he's going to get his ass whooped once again.
If I get touched, I'm coming on that ass.
Davis's trainer has acknowledged Lamont Roach's talent, stating that they were fully aware of his abilities before the fight. He also mentioned that their initial strategy for the first fight was well thought out, which suggests they may not make significant changes for a potential rematch. This implies that Davis's team still believes in their original approach, but recognizes the need to execute it better the next time around.
Surprised by Roach and Tank. What do you think the biggest surprise was in the fight?
It wasn't a surprise because we know Roach. It wasn't a surprise.
Mm-hmm.
Roach can fight. A lot of people think because a person is not popular, they don't exist. There's fighters out there that can rumble. They just got to get the opportunity, you know?
Mm-hmm. Speaking of rematches, Jalil Hackett is getting his opportunity again to fight the guy that he had a controversial loss to. It'll be happening in Florida, I think, next week?
March 15th, I think. I'm rocking a major shirt now.
Major.
Yes, sir.
Tell me, how's that rematch look like, and then what's the difference makers coming into this fight?
The first fight, I thought, everybody's going to Jalil one. We just got to turn, hit the gears a little harder. We ain't really got to change too much. Just got to put the icing on the cake, Put the icing on the cake this time, that's all. He did enough to win the last fight, but we was in somebody else's territory,
This time around, being in Florida, do you feel like it's a mutual zone?
Yeah. It's more of an even playing field in Florida.
Okay. Do you feel like he needs a stoppage to win the fight due to what happened the first time?
Not necessarily. A stoppage is good, but not necessarily.
Boxing analyst Showbiz the Adult provided his perspective on the knee incident, suggesting that Gervonta Tank Davis strategically took a knee after getting hit by Lamont Roach, not because he was hurt, but to interrupt Roach's momentum. This perspective adds another layer to the ongoing debate about whether Davis's move was a tactical decision to regain control of the fight or a sign of distress.
Gervonta doing this shows that it wasn't an outside strange occurrence, that it may just be a part of his DNA. For him to get hit in amateurs and then take a step back and take a knee when he obviously wasn't hurt, it just shows to me that instead of gritting it out, all right, and possibly get knocked out or taking those chances, he'd rather take a knee to disrupt the momentum and then start over. That's how I'm taking it. It can be a great strategy, or it can be the bully complex. That when you meet somebody and they're not fearing you, or they're not retreating or backing away from you, and they're showing poise and the ability to withstand your output and give some back, like any book, they kind of unravel.
The first fight ended in controversy, leaving fans divided on who truly won. A second fight would give both boxers the opportunity to settle the debate once and for all. This rematch has the potential to be a defining moment in both of their careers, determining who truly reigns supreme in their rivalry.
The reason why I say this fight needs to happen again because both fighters have something to prove. I just saw a tweet from Gervonta Tank Davis saying that he was going to activate the rematch. Is it going to happen? I don't know. Would I like to see this fight happen? Yes, I would like to see it fight happen again because I think that the next fight is going to be a whole lot better. And I think the next fight is going to end with somebody being on the canvas, in my opinion. But I think that Lamont Roach, I want to give a shout out to Lamont Roach for putting up such a amazing performance. We never seen anyone stand there toe-to-toe with Gervonta Tank Davis. We never seen anyone there throwing punches, power punches, at Tank Davis and not being knocked out. And I also want to commend Tank because Tank didn't have to take this fight.
Thanks for tuning in. Stay tuned for more updates, and I'll catch you in the next video. Until next time,